Today is a WRAL weather alert day. Heavy rain, damaging winds, dangerous heat, all in the forecast today. I'll walk you through all of these threats coming up.
Ken Smith here in the WRAL Live Center as we come on the air here at noon. Sky 5 over some breaking news in Sanford. The why? Because of a hazmat situation at the YMCA at Wicker Memorial Drive there in Sanford. That facility has been evacuated, and you can see the first responders there on the scene. Coming up, what we know about this facility and how that incident happened.
And new body cam video. A Durham County judge agrees to share police video from housing protests at NC Central University. The new angle we are seeing of arrests on campus.
And surveying the damage this afternoon, Governor Josh Stein will visit the areas of Chapel Hill hit hardest by Chantal. What we know about the governor's plan for recovery.
Good afternoon to you on this Friday. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Renee Chu. Thanks for joining us.
Today is WRAL Weather Alert Day. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is here to show us 3 different threats we could be possibly facing today, Amy.
That's right. A rough start to the weekend. We have dangerous heat. Already we've seen heat index values up to 109 in some locations. So the heat advisory in place until 8 p.m. Localized flooding is possible with the storms that roll through today. Damaging winds also possible with the storms that move in this afternoon and this evening. This is a look at the severe weather risk. The level 2 risk is from around the triangle and points to the north and east. Everyone in green in a level 1 out of 5 severe risk. And again, the biggest threat would be some strong damaging winds, but we could also see some localized flooding. Flash flooding is a concern because the ground is so saturated at this point. We'll have a 30% chance for storms between now and about 3 o'clock, and then a 50% chance for storms during the evening commute and likely while you're out and about on your Friday night. So make sure you have the WRAL weather app downloaded to your phone. Go into the settings, turn on the alerts. It'll let you know if lightning is getting close to you. It'll also let you know if there's a warning for your area. Moving on to the heat, we have a heat advisory in effect. Dangerous heat this afternoon for almost the entire viewing area. I think we'll probably have another one for tomorrow as well. Look at the current heat index values. 109 is what it feels like in Clinton right now. It feels like 102 in Raleigh and Durham. Feels like 102 in Rocky Mount and Southern Pines. So already we have some dangerous heat out there. And these numbers will be with us through the afternoon. We'll also have some of these storms around during the afternoon and evening. We also have storms in the forecast for Saturday. It's another alert day. It's also going to be another hot day Saturday. I'll walk you through all of the storm chances with Futurecast coming up in just a bit.
And happening now in the WRAL Live Center, getting back to that breaking news out of Sanford. Let's get right to these live pictures with the help of Sky 5 over the Y on Wicker Memorial Drive in Sanford. A hazmat incident forced the evacuation of that facility. Now, here's what we know. A worker at the pool reportedly mixed together acid and chlorine, which caused a chemical reaction. You can see first responders there right now. The Sanford Fire Department set up a 500-foot perimeter around the Y, which means Carthage Street is closed between Doctors Drive and Dennis Drive, as well as Fields Drive between Carthage Street and Central Drive. Now, at this point, we don't have any reports of any injuries, but the nearby Central Carolina Hospital has been notified and is taking safety measures for employees and staff. Again, if you're just walking in the room, you're looking live at Sky 5 video over the Y there in Sanford because of a hazmat situation. Right now, the Sanford Fire Department is waiting for the hazmat team from Fayetteville to arrive to assess the damage before any all-clear signs can be given. We'll be on top of this story right here in the noon hour.
All right, Ken, thank you. Well, today we are getting a point of view look at these arrests on NC Central's university's campus. A Durham County judge ruled to release the police body camera video from this protest over housing at the school. WRAL's Monica Casey is at NC Central this afternoon. And Monica, you were there during the demonstration in April and now reviewing that new video.
Yeah, that video gives us a little bit of a different look at what was happening. Now that protest was back in April over housing issues here on NC Central's campus, with students complaining about issues like mold, AC and heat problems and bugs. Now we know of the 4 people arrested, 2 of them were students and 1 was a faculty member. This is video right now of Daniel Atwood's arrest. In it, he is told by law enforcement to put his hands behind his back so that they can handcuff him. And once he's in the police car, he repeatedly asks what he did wrong. Now, NC Central tells us Jose Estrella is not affiliated with the university. We know he was the first one arrested that day. Take a look at this video.
Leave campus. I need you to leave campus. I need you to leave campus.
Can you get your hands off of me, sir?
Leave campus.
Your hands off of me.
Now, attorneys for these 4 protesters say NC Central argued to only release part of the body camera video while they wanted to release all of it. And in this case, the judge agreed with the defense. Now, I asked the university if they had any comment on this video, if the officers in the video followed protocol, and what their plans are if they intend to proceed with the charges against these protesters. The university tells me as a matter of policy, they do not comment on any pending legal cases. Live in Durham, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
Officials are warning people to stay off Jordan Lake. This is video here from Sky 5 flying over the lake this morning. Chatham County Sheriff's Office is urging people to stay off the lake due to high water levels from Chantal. Recent storms have pushed the lake levels higher than normal, creating dangerous situations. The conditions are bad there. The warning comes after 4 drownings in Chatham County this month. The most recent was reported Wednesday at Harris Lake.
And happening today, Governor Josh Stein will survey the damage left behind in his hometown of Chapel Hill after Chantal. Estimates from this week show the storm caused more than $26 million in damage in the town alone. WRAL's Laura Levine explains what we expect from today's visit.
Governor Josh Stein will get a first-hand look surveying some of the damage here in Chapel Hill, including at Eastgate Crossing, where we're seeing still some significant damage from that flooding, boarded up doors and windows, and even still a little bit of debris in the parking lots here. But the damage estimates from the storm are roughly $30 million, including lots of businesses here. The state of emergency means federal small business loans may be on the way to help them clean up and open back up. Today, the governor will tour some of the businesses hardest hit, as well as neighborhoods, and meet with town officials. We spoke with business owners before the state of emergency was declared, who tell us that they've been stuck in limbo for days.
Honestly, the thought of taking out more loans is not something I really can stomach at the moment. But, just gathering the information and making sure that I know all the options that are available to me as we decide next steps for my business has been helpful.
The governor will also survey damage at Camelot Village. That is a complex known for receiving consistent flooding during rain events. WRAL will be following the governor as he makes his way around town here in Chapel Hill. As far as that state of emergency declaration, that remains in effect for 30 days. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Chapel Hill.
And WRAL is joining Governor Stein in Chapel Hill today. Tune into our news from 4 to 7:30 this evening as we ask more about what the state of emergency declaration means for our area.
We are looking into a new NTSB report about a Lee County plane crash that killed a family of 4. The preliminary report found the plane was flown by 35-year-old Travis Buchanan. It had electrical problems. It says Buchanan reported problems shortly after taking off on the Florida coast, but continued on to the Raleigh Executive Jetport in Sanford. His wife, Candace Buchanan, later called to report the plane didn't have navigation or communication equipment on board. Shortly after, she called again to report engine trouble, saying they needed to make an emergency landing. The plane eventually crashed in a field 5 miles from the jetport. Travis and Candace Buchanan, along with their 2 children, Aubrey and Walker, died in the crash. President Trump will sign a bill into law today to cut $9 billion in spending Congress had previously approved, while at the same time dealing with some newly announced health issues. Alice Barr shares the latest headlines from our nation's capital.
New overnight, the House giving final passage to a bill that claws back $9 billion in spending Congress had already approved.
We thought it was a waste of taxpayer funds. We're going to downsize the scope of government.
Speaker Johnson calling it the first of multiple efforts to cancel already approved funding, something that is rarely done, this time targeting $8 billion in foreign aid, including global health, and $1.1 billion from public broadcasting. NPR and PBS, long sought cuts by many Republicans, though 2 GOP members joined all Democrats opposing the bill in the House and 2 in the Senate.
I'm very concerned about what the impact will be on the emergency alert system in states like Maine.
Also overnight, the House Rules Committee advanced a resolution calling for more documents to be released in the case of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, as President Trump, working to quell growing anger from some of his supporters, asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to make grand jury testimony public. Bondi quickly saying she's ready to move the courts today to unseal the transcripts. All that as the White House revealed a new diagnosis for President Trump: chronic venous insufficiency.
A benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70.
The news coming after images of apparent swelling in the president's ankles and bruising on his hands drew attention. The administration noting there are no signs of more serious health concerns. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Medical experts say the president's condition occurs in up to half of all adults over the age of 70. The White House released a physician's letter noting that after testing of the president's heart and kidneys, he remains in excellent health. We'll keep it on the markets here for you this noon. A response to this latest round of fiscal policy they're talking about. It has not spent a moment in positive territory. Talking about the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now, it is down 169 points.
The Kids Exchange consignment sale is now open to the public officially. You can find bargains on clothing, toys, and other children's items. There are more than 700 tables and 2 miles of clothing racks. Supply is limited.
Next at noon, dating your bot. How teens are using AI for more than just help studying.
Also, it's been 2 weeks since the flooding started in Texas. What's being done now as dozens remain missing?
New data shows teens are using AI for more than just study help. Instead, they're using language models for digital companionship. Jesse Gary spoke to teens and youth welfare experts about this social trend.
And can cut to it when so convenient.
Midday Thursday sees counselors and campers at Los Gatos-based community access station KCAT-TV readying for their next production. For some in this age group, the next step in producing a meaningful friendship isn't cemented face-to-face, but instead through AI.
I've had friends, and I was talking to them in real life, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go hop on a chat with my friend. It wasn't, I was like, oh, like bring him in. I'd love to meet them. And it wasn't a friend. It was an AI friend.
Overwhelmed by a labyrinth of vacillating emotions, some teens are turning to AI-generated companions to share the pits and perils of growing up. Character AI, Replica, and Talkie all offer easy, flowing, available conversation that's just a click away.
It's just a little bit weird to be talking to something that seems so human as if it is.
Weird or not, AI companions could be the next social wave. A study by researchers at San Francisco-based Common Sense Media finds nearly 3 out of 4 teens have used artificial companions to talk, and half do so regularly.
It can provide the kind of companionship that has similar kinds of abilities as real people do. So, it's very validating, it agrees with you, and it can chat with you in a way that a real person might be able to.
It could, though, allow teens and sort of young adults to practice in a non-judgmental setting.
Experts such as Dr. Melinda Day say removing warts from normal relationships can do more harm than good.
You don't want a teen to hide from the judgment. You don't want a teen to hide from the interactive nature of being human.
I personally like to talk to my friends, whether it's over the phone or just in face.
Back at the camp, several of the teens say while AI companions are novel, they can never replicate or replace the real experience that comes from producing a lasting friendship.
I feel like it's a weird trend that's going on that I hope dies down. But then I also feel like some people might take it too far and it could really ruin a lot of people.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one who thinks it's weird. He agrees. All right, that was Jesse Gary reporting there. And we want to know, has AI gone too far? Do you think it's a helpful tool, or are you concerned about over-reliance on it? Share your voice right now by scanning the QR code on your screen, or you can head to WRAL.com/yourvoice, and we'll share some more of these results that we get before the end of this newscast. So far, everyone on board with yep.
Yep. I agree. All right, well, Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials will now have access to Medicaid recipients' personal data. The personal data of 79 million Medicaid enrollees can now be used by ICE to help track down immigrants who may be here illegally. The Associated Press reports that the personal data includes home addresses and ethnicities.
Next week, state leaders in Texas will meet to address the deadly flooding that happened July 4th. They are expected to discuss the state's flood warning and mitigation systems. According to Texas Governor Greg Abbott, 116 people are confirmed dead in Kerr County from the flooding. That brings the total number of deaths across central Texas to 135, and dozens of people are still missing.
Yeah, they have been through such devastation there in
It's
Texas.
been 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
this
terrible.
family's still waiting for that kind of closure, you know.
It's horrible.
We don't want to open a window here today. It's brutal outside right now. It's just going to get hotter, too. And Amy Wynn within the WRAL Severe Weather Center with those headlines.
Dangerous heat already out there. We've had a heat index up to 109 in some spots already. So the heat advisory in place now until 8 o'clock this evening. But we also have the threat for storms that could lead to some flooding. We could have some damaging winds as well. This is a look at the current flood risk map for today. So most of us in the medium risk for flooding. Flash flooding certainly a concern just because the ground is so saturated from recent rains that we've had across the area. And then we also have to talk about the threat for severe storms that could produce some damaging wind gusts. We saw a little bit of that yesterday with a few damage reports with some trees down. We could see that with some storms today, especially from the triangle and points to the north and east. That's where we have the level 2 out of 5 severe risk for today. Right now, things are clear on the radar. I really don't see anything developing yet on the radar. I would imagine that would happen in the next couple of hours. We'll start to see storms develop, and you can see that with Futurecast. Scattered showers and storms will be with us this afternoon through the evening commute, and then even after sunset, we'll have the chance for some of these storms to linger around a little bit. Once we get to Saturday morning, it should be a quiet start to the day. Maybe do some outdoor things the first part of Saturday because it will also be a little bit cooler. It's going to be another very hot day tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, more showers and storms are going to develop. We're in a medium risk for some flooding tomorrow as well. So we have issued a weather alert day for Saturday. So today and tomorrow, both weather alert days due to flooding, the potential for some damaging winds, and also dangerous heat for both days. Wouldn't be surprised if we go under a heat advisory for tomorrow as well. So very unsettled weather this weekend with some very hot temperatures. This is the heat advisory. It's in effect for almost the entire viewing area. And again, the heat index anywhere from 105 to 110 this afternoon. Try to stay inside if you can. It just feels miserable outside. Dew points are in the upper 70s and even low 80s across the area. And that's why it feels like this right now. 102 in Raleigh, Durham, Southern Pines, and Rocky Mount. 104 in Fayetteville and Clinton. It is brutal down here in Sampson County. In Clinton, it feels like 109. It feels like 106 in Goldsboro. So just take it easy out there. We'll stay in the triple digits with heat index values for the next several hours. And then on top of that, we'll eventually have the chance for some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms. So a bit of a rough start to the weekend. High temperatures today. The actual air temperature will be in the mid to upper 90s, maybe even triple digits in a few spots. We can't rule that out. Around 97 for the high in Raleigh, 98 in Rocky Mount, 99 in Sanford, 100 for the high temperature in Fayetteville. This weekend, we have weather alert days for Saturday as well. 95 for the high, scattered afternoon and evening storms. We still have the threat for some storms Sunday. It'll be another hot day, but probably the heat index won't be quite as high as it'll be today and tomorrow, but 95, still a very hot day on Sunday. If you're waiting for some slightly cooler air, just hold on, wait until Tuesday and Wednesday. High temperatures will be back in the upper 80s by then.
All right, thank you very much, Amy. Well, old sauce tossed.
Tonight on WRAL News at 5, sauce that expired 2 months ago was found and thrown out during an inspection at a local restaurant. The health score they got in restaurant ratings.
Oh boy. And then at 6, an ongoing battle about whether this farm can build an amphitheater here. WRAL investigates how this all ties back to a state law. Our reporting may soon change.
And still ahead this noon, more news, new AI potential. ChatGPT has a new mode, able to book plane tickets, order groceries, and make a PowerPoint. The full scope of the bot's new skills just ahead.
And postponing retirement. More Americans over 50 say they cannot afford to stop working. The main concerns preventing potential retirees from stepping out of the workforce. 5 on your side is monitoring your consumer news. Peacock is raising prices again, and ChatGPT can do online tasks for you. Maribel Aber shares this and more from the NASDAQ market site in New York.
Massive federal budget cuts are now heading to President Trump's desk for his signature. In the overnight hours, the House gave final passage to a bill that slashes more than $9 billion from previously approved government spending. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS, will lose $1.1 billion, and foreign aid will be stripped of $8 billion, including massive cuts to USAID and other global aid programs. One Bush-era initiative that funds efforts to combat HIV and AIDS was removed from the bill in recent days. Republicans passed the bill by just 3 votes, 216 to 213. Peacock, NBC Universal's streaming service, is set to raise prices by $3 starting July 23rd. The ad-supported premium plan will now be $10.99 a month, while Premium Plus will bump up to $16.99 a month. Peacock will also begin testing a select tier targeting TV lovers, featuring current seasons of shows on NBC and Bravo, plus an assortment of library titles priced at $7.99 a month. Peacock reported $41 million in paid subscribers for the first quarter this year and forecasts it will outstream a number of rivals combined next year. Technophobes, brace yourselves. A new ChatGPT update released Thursday now lets the AI think and act on your behalf. Makers of OpenAI unveiled a new feature that allows the popular chatbot to execute more complex actions on a user's request. For example, you can ask it to look at your calendar and brief you on upcoming meetings or plan and buy ingredients for dinner party. In one demonstration, ChatGPT was prompted to help plan an entire wedding, down to the details like dress code options for guests and hotel bookings. OpenAI says there are limitations. The chatbot can't write or send emails without user oversight, and it's trained to refuse high-risk tasks like bank transfers. And those are your business headlines. I'm Maribel Aber at the NASDAQ market site.
A lot to take in on a Friday, right? More Americans are saying that they can't afford to retire. There's a new survey out that says 23% of Americans over the age of 50 are delaying retirement. That number is up from 14% last year. 44% of respondents say they are worried about inflation, and about a third were concerned about downturns in the stock market. The survey says those holding off on retirement will also delay when they take Social Security checks in order to get more money later.
Coming up, 80 direct destinations. RDU is celebrating a new milestone. The new additions announced this morning, including more flights and also more dining options.
Plus bargains for families. The Kids Exchange sale is underway right now at the State Fairgrounds. How you can save ahead of the upcoming school year.
And here are your winning NC Education lottery numbers. Good luck.
We're back here at noon on WRAL. It is a WRAL weather alert day with this live look here. Durham, Bull City here, noontime. Almost the entire viewing area is under a heat advisory. We are facing a medium flood risk as well this evening. Amy Wilmoth is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now. We're kind of timing out when all this is happening. I know it's on into the weekend.
Yeah, it's a rough start to the weekend. Storms will develop later this afternoon and this evening. Right now, the radar is pretty quiet, although we do have a little bit of activity in southern Virginia. We'll continue to monitor the radar throughout the day today because we do have some severe threats. Flash flooding a concern today. Also, some severe damaging winds possible with some of the storms that we have later this afternoon, this evening. We also have a heat advisory in place. The heat index anywhere from 105 to 110. And actually, I need to change that number, 110. I need to change that to 111. Feels like 111 right now in Clinton. Just awful outside. Feels like 102 right now in Raleigh and Durham, 102 in Rocky Mount. Feels like 106 in Goldsboro. So everybody is hot right now. Heat advisory criteria is 105 or higher. So some of you are already beyond that threshold. And the heat advisory will continue until 8 o'clock this evening. So dangerous heat out there today. Actual high temperatures will climb into the upper 70s. We'll have those scattered storms. Another alert day for tomorrow. I'll talk about the threats we can face on Saturday coming up.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're staying on top of that breaking news out of Sanford. Let's get right to Scott 5 over the YMCA on Wickham Memorial Drive there in Sanford. That whole facility has been evacuated because of a hazmat situation. Here's what we've been able to confirm. Apparently, a worker at the pool mixed together acid and chlorine, which caused a chemical reaction. Right now, you see first responders on the scene. They've set up a 500-foot perimeter around that building. That means Fields Drive and Carthage Street, parts of those streets are completely closed. No one is being allowed back in that building. The nearby Carolina Central Hospital has been notified. No, we don't have any reports of any injuries, but the hospital is taking precaution anyway for their staff and employees just in case anyone starts showing up as a result of this hazmat situation. At this point, the Sanford Fire Department is in a holding pattern. They're actually waiting on the hazmat team out of Fayetteville to arrive to assess that situation before any all-clear signs can be given. We're staying on top of this news. Look for any updates. Continue here in this new newscast, as well as online at WRAL.com and, of course, in our news starting at 4.
Thanks, Ken. Raleigh is more connected now than ever. This is a live look. RDU International Airport, a flight just leaving right there from Terminal 2. But Raleigh-Durham International Airport now has 80 nonstop destinations. That is direct flights to 66 domestic and 14 international cities. And looking forward, even more expansion at the airport is going to happen. Starting in December, Aeromexico will make flights to Cancun. 3 new sections of economy parking have opened, and when the full parking expansion project is complete, it'll include 7,000 new spaces and EV chargers as well. More restaurants are opening inside the terminal. You can get your coffee fix at Dunkin' near gate C15 in Terminal 2. Dunkin' is one of more than a dozen new restaurants opening at the airport through 2026.
The Department of Insurance is expanding a program to protect homes along the coast against storms. People in the southeastern North Carolina can now apply for fortified roofs. The insurance department says these roofs stand up better against wind and water than other roofs. An NC State study found that homeowners who installed them filed fewer claims during recent storms. The program already exists on the Outer Banks.
What we need, in my opinion, is to build resiliency along our coastal counties, and that means fortified roofs on every new building, strengthen our building codes. We need to be strengthening building codes, not weakening building codes.
And the insurance commissioner says installing the roofs helps drop premiums by reducing the risks to the home.
Back to school shopping can get pretty pricey. Parents are expected to spend an average of $570 per child this year. Now, fortunately, there's a popular sale in Raleigh that could help you save big on supplies and new clothing. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey shares more from the Kids Exchange public consignment sale at the State Fairgrounds. It's underway right now.
If you're looking for back to school deals, this is the place to be. Check out this huge crowd that's here at the Kids Exchange consignment sale. You can buy clothes, toys, baby items, furniture, and more. As prices keep going up, big bargains like the Kids Exchange can help families shop at affordable prices.
We're anticipating a lot of people needing to be really, really smart with their money and, spending every penny wisely. And so this is a great way to come out and get just items that look new and just spend 25% of what you would otherwise.
Jessica Barham has been shopping for deals at the Kids Exchange for the past 5 years.
You can walk out of here for the same amount that you would spend in a retail store with multiple bags of things and go home, look through it, and oh wow, what a great deal I got.
The perfect chance to save ahead of a busy back to school season. If you want more information about the do's and don'ts of secondhand shopping, 5 on Your Side has you covered. Just head to WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
That's a scoop from inside. And the public sale got started at 9 o'clock this morning. It'll be open through 6 p.m. tonight. It'll be open again tomorrow, 9 to 4, and then 9 to 5 on Sunday, which is half price day. Admission each day is free.
Well, this afternoon, our county-by-county coverage takes us to Cumberland, Nash, and Wake counties. Starting in Cumberland County, right now the Sheriff's Office hosting a job fair. The fair is currently underway and runs until 2 o'clock. Recruiters are on hand to answer questions and take applications for a variety of positions. The event is at the Crown Expo Center on Coliseum Drive in Fayetteville.
In Nash County, the school system is being recognized on the national stage. Nash County Public Schools will receive awards from the National School Public Relations Association. That'll happen Sunday. The awards are for their handling of the demerger with Edgecombe County Schools and the district's rebranding initiative. The prestigious awards celebrate communication strategies, publications, and digital media produced by school districts across the nation.
And in Wake County, today you can visit Juniper Level Botanic Gardens for its 3rd annual Agave Festival. The garden is home to more than 20 rare agave blossoms. It has 27,000 types of plants on its grounds. The festival is happening at the garden on Sauls Road in Raleigh today through Sunday, and admission is free.
Water bills through the roof. Customers in Raleigh saw their bills double this month. The reason behind the price hike.
And new sanctions on Russia from the European Union. What the new economic rules from the EU target.
Remember to download the new WRAL weather app and plan ahead for severe weather anytime. Turn on the alerts to get notified about severe weather right where you live. It is free for you to download wherever you get your apps.
Raleigh's water call center is overflowing with questions about higher bills. Dozens of customers saw their bills double this month, and that's because paper bills never went out. According to the city, its billing mailer, Professional Mail Services Incorporated, they unexpectedly shut down in May. So the bills actually covered 2 months of water use. Kathy Caldwell says her $90 bill went to $204.
People need to budget, especially in times like now when everything costs so much more, and apparently that includes water.
The city is suspending disconnection for non-payment and late fees for the next several weeks. It is also offering payment plans. We've reached out to the billing mailer to ask about the abrupt closure. We have not heard back.
We have some new information about plans for Wake County's homeless shelter set to open next year. Leaders picked the Bryant Center to run 2nd Street Place. County leaders expect the upgraded site to be ready for winter next year. It'll have nearly 100 beds and operate year-round. A board member brawl. A fight broke out between commissioners in Caldwell County. How those representatives are apologizing following that scuffle.
And getting students vaccinated back to school is just around the corner. Why health experts say it's best to get those done a few weeks ahead of the new school year.
This morning, the European Union and Britain ramped up pressure on Russia. The EU announced its toughest sanctions yet on Russia since the invasion of Ukraine started. The sanctions come as President Trump has started increasing pressure on the Kremlin after months of seeking a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. The new economic rules from the EU target Russian energy and financial sectors. The sanctions cap Russian oil at 15% below market price.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, a developing story out of the West Coast, more specifically the Los Angeles County Training Facility there with the Sheriff's Department. An explosion this morning as you look at an aerial view of that facility and the ground shots of that facility killed 3 deputies. These are live looks now coming from our NBC station there in L.A. Now, this facility reportedly houses the department's Special Forces Unit and the bomb squad. Sources are telling the local station there that LA members of the Special Forces Unit were handling some type of explosives when that blast happened. No word yet on any injuries. Of course, we'll continue to monitor this developing story. Look for any new information online and, of course, in our news starting at 4.
A brawl between board members caught on camera. Watch these two over here. They're getting after it. It happened at Monday night's Caldwell County Board of Commissioners meeting. That's just south of Boone. The incident involved Commissioners Jeff Branch and Donnie Potter. And it was a Donnie Brook. Video shows one of the commissioners shoving the other elected official to the ground. Other commissioners and security officers had to jump in and break up the fight. Following a delay, both Branch and Potter addressed the situation, apologizing to everyone there.
There's more ways to settle an argument than pulling out a gun or a knife. We settled one. We're good to go. Everything's fine.
Amy, I apologize to the folks in the audience as well. And it's Jeff and I we don't always agree, but we need to learn to settle our agreements in a professional manner.
Both commissioners stayed at that meeting following their opening statements. Specific details about the nature of their disagreement have not been disclosed, and they put them in separate corners there. A little timeout for them.
Yeah, they're not sitting next to each other.
No.
All right, well, school will be back in session soon, and health experts say now is the time to make sure your students' health is protected. Vaccination coverage dipped during the 2023-24 school year. That's compared to the previous year. So it's important to get ahead of those required vaccines. Family physician Gretchen LaSalle says it takes a couple of weeks for children to build up immunity after getting their shots, and developing that immunity before school starts reduces the risk of the child contracting preventable diseases during the school year.
A very large majority of physicians and scientists still stand very firmly behind our traditional vaccines and our seasonal vaccines. It's the best way to keep kids safe and healthy throughout the school year.
And summer is a great time to do back to school physicals as well. And in the fall, parents will have seasonal vaccines to consider. Those include flu and the updated COVID-19 vaccine.
And we're talking about school. The school year is about to get underway, and soon we'll talk of classroom AI policies. Okay, earlier we had asked you about your thoughts on if AI has gone too far. Okay, and so far 87% of you say yes.
And 13% are saying no. I mean, AI can be very helpful in certain situations, right? You look up something online, you want to know right away. AI does all the research for you. It's there. But yeah, it's you know, people disagree, people agree. So we want to know what you think.
Dating your bot. That's where it
that's gone too far.
Crosses the line.
That crosses the line. Yeah.
A lot of people would have these temperatures gone too far.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, okay.
Yes,
we have a problem with them, Amy.
Yes, I have a problem with this too. And unfortunately, this will last through the weekend. The dangerous heat will be with us for the next few days. It's just brutally hot outside right now. Watching the radar because we also have that threat for storms. It is a weather alert day because of the dangerous heat and the threat for storms. Zooming into the northeastern part of our viewing area, watching one little cell here about to get into Orange County. We're starting to see just a little bit of development on radar, and we'll continue to see this as we progress into the latter part of our afternoon and into the evening as well. So the severe threats for today, localized flooding will be possible. The ground is saturated because we've had so much rain. So flash flooding is a concern today. Also, we have the potential for some damaging winds within some of these storms. We saw a little bit of that yesterday. We could see it again today. Looking ahead to Saturday. So Saturday is a WRAL weather alert day as well. We have the threat for flooding again. It's a medium risk for flooding across most of the area. We also have the threat for some isolated storms that could produce some wind damage. And both of these days, the storms coming in the afternoon and evening. This is a look at the flood risks for both today and tomorrow. Most of us under the medium risk for today. Pretty much the same thing Saturday, a medium risk for flooding Saturday as well. So flash flooding a concern. Have a way to get warnings over the weekend. A good way to do that, download the free WRAL weather app, go into the settings, turn on the alerts, and it will let you know if there's storms headed your way. So let's talk about Saturday and the impacts for Saturday. In the morning, that's going to be your best bet to get outside, do some things. It's going to be very warm and muggy though, but it will be the best opportunity to do something outside, maybe take the dog for a walk or get the kids to the park. In the afternoon, we have dangerous heat that will be with us. We will probably go under a heat advisory. We're still waiting to hear from the Weather Service on that. And then scattered storms will be with us, so it's going to be a little tough. We're going to have to dodge some storms in the afternoon. To do things outside, it's again best to do it in the morning. In the evening, the heat will back off a little bit because we'll have the clouds and the scattered storms across the area, but still we'll be dodging those storms through the evening. So a weather alert day for tomorrow as well. 95 for the high, the heat index around 105 or a little bit higher. On Sunday, temperatures will be in the mid-90s, late day storms possible. We have the threat for severe weather and flooding on Sunday as well. Stay hydrated today. The heat advisory in place until 8 p.m. The heat index up to 110, even 111. We've already seen that in Clinton. So it's a major heat risk for most of us today, even a small little area in the extreme risk today. Just try to stay in if you can. It's just very uncomfortable. So upper 90s for today, major heat risk for most of us. Same thing for tomorrow with highs in the mid 90s, and same thing Sunday, a major heat risk with high temperatures in the mid 90s. A live look at downtown Raleigh, a mix of sun and clouds. At least there's a nice breeze degrees in downtown, but it feels like 102, feels like 109 in Clinton, a little bit better than 111, I guess. But dangerous heat index values all day today. And as I mentioned, this is going to continue into tomorrow. So pretty tough weekend with some big heat and scattered storms. The heat finally starts to back off by the time we get to Tuesday.
Amy, thanks for that. Summer beach closures, they're happening out there, and scientists are blocking vacationers from areas of the Outer Banks. The wildlife protection efforts underway as sea turtles are laying their eggs. We wrap things up right now with a look at a few of the headlines we're following for you today. We have breaking news out of Sanford we've been following. There's a hazmat situation involving chemicals. This is at the YMCA on Wicker Drive. The city has evacuated the area within 500 feet of that building. Since Central Carolina Hospital is right across the street, staff there have also been notified and are taking safety precautions. A hazmat team from Fayetteville is on the way to handle that problem.
And in just a few hours, Governor Josh Stein will be in Chapel Hill to survey the damage Chantal caused in his hometown. Estimates show the storm created more than $26 million in damage in the town alone. WRAL will join the governor on his visit. Tune into our news at 4 as we ask what the state of emergency declaration means for our area.
Getting a little different point of view look at arrests made on NC Central University's campus during a protest over housing issues at the school. A Durham County judge ruled to release the police body camera video. Of the 4 people arrested, 2 were students, 1 is a faculty member. WRAL asked the university if they had any comment on the footage, if officers followed protocol, and whether there will be charges. NC Central said the school does not comment on pending legal cases.
Cape Lookout National Seashore has its first turtle nest hatching. This is video of the little turtle posted on social media. Loggerhead, green, leatherback, and Kemp's Ridley sea turtles' nests have been found along the seashore in the past. To help the turtles survive, biologists closed parts of that beach to help that little guy out.
And don't turn around and go that way.
I know, he's going the wrong way.
The water's that way. They'll find it.
All right, well, it's time for a look at our pets of the day. This bonded duo, Abbott and Janine. Abbott is 2 years old, Janine is 7. They both love to cuddle and play with all kinds of toys. Now, unfortunately, both of these kitties, they have tested positive for feline leukemia virus. For more information about Abbott and Janine, visit sbcawake.org. Oh, poor little kitties. I mean, they're very cute.
Very cute.
They need
kitties.
a home.
Yep, and they'll be taken care of. You know, we got some high clouds out here. We have a WRAL weather alert day here for extreme heat. It's going to stretch into the weekend, so be careful out there.
Yeah, definitely drink a lot of water. You're going to need it. NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update is in 30 minutes.
You can also get breaking news updates anytime with our WRAL News app. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.